That's a big problem because you're really privating yourself and you are getting to the point where in this origin, one of the origins, dimensional origins of humans society, come back to the same loop, fails again, and then a self-deconstructing process starts occurring, like occurred in the Bhagavad Gita. You cannot understand this idea that something is true just because a computer is telling to you, something is true just because an institution is telling to you, something is true just because there is an artificial construct that tells you that it's truth. If you cannot recognize truth for what it is in the functional way, like what is truth, that your knowledge, your capacity of developing different circumstances and addressing information to persons in the right and punctual way, distribution, and makes a development of them. Even I have no title, nobody recognize it or anything, or that I have a title that says that I can do that, but I'm not prepared to do it. So society also in these matters is getting to that point because of automatization of processes. So it's okay, you can do your automatization processes in any industrial area because it's industrial material purely, not organical. In that sense, you can never use a mechanized material process, industrial process, to try to make the same effect, and at the end just end up creating human bots, very much, uploaded with a series of mental problems that will just make them to do the same actions over again, because that's what you're looking to erase the cost of try and error. That will be the natural between human relations. That's what even shows you the dimension possibilities of your own actions, that through reflecting of them you gather more information of yourself than if you just do everything as is in a norm correctly defined. So this market that is open, because you can be, here I have everything more or less I always practice and I train myself on, I meditate, I reflect upon, I create essays about, etc. So it's your strategy, geopolitics, economy, warfare, history, philosophy, natural science, biology, psychology, psychoanalysis, medicine, finance, culture, multimedia, casual interactions, even just making analysis of how people behave when they are just interacting between themselves. But it's like, is that applicable? Yes, in your own self, privately. I always say I work with all of this privately because first of all I create the correct material and information to build myself. If that is already not true, just because I did not went to a school to do all those things in a recognized social title entitlement, you are dreaming. Most of these have become markets. So, but from that, most of all of this is already like taken. There is many. Same as social interaction. So you have a cluster of people and they close within themselves and they just accept the person that grows within themselves. They are always close, and in the periphery of that cluster there is many other knots of interaction that they will never be open to. Also, the structure of a health society is like this, is not like this. Okay, markets work in the same way. There is markets that are like this, and there is markets that are like this. So in that sense, there is in this acceptance of artificial symbols to validate information. But what you should use to validate information is literally analysis itself, because information exists depending on any artificial symbol. That's the point. So the only markets there are like a need of persons because of the same tendency of these societies to automatize industrially any other process, from cooking to harvesting food to process information, to create information, and so on. So it's mental health, medical praxis, education, human care. And that pretty much takes you to be a education and health leader, human resources developer, a coach and a trainer, because that also has to do with physical practices you do every day to rise your biological capital, as I repeat in other part of the series of videos I'm making. There is 3 types of assets that conform your life. You want to see it from a financial perspective: the agency of time, the biological capital, and the monetary wealth capital. Also, you become through this a multidisciplinary educator. You also, of course, when you are able to understand all this thema and interact with persons in a multidisciplinary characteristics, you can be in a bar, you can do customer service, you can run a hotel, you can do anything you like. So it's like multitasking skills. In the cluster markets, they try you that you just become one thing and you define yourself through just this thing that you have become, and you don't dream or think in learning to do every part of every position and have the skill to do it. So of course, why? Because that will break the closed market logic. That will create a society that is market open. Like you literally can just have your card and say, this is my card. I am a human resources developer, coach, trainer, multidisciplinary educator, multitask skiller. Do you need something? So it goes to peer-to-peer, the development even of economical fields. Also, that's not being one. Why? Because again, it goes against this idea of the enclosed, directed, hierarchical manner of accepting, validating or not a person. With the time that will break, that's the point, because it's not natural. So I do also have here, I mean, everybody should, by fact, by need, by social convenience even, and also in the sense of your own functional existence in the world as the world is composed, you all should be an economic and financial analyst, a geostrategist and political revisionist. That is the core base in the fundament of even in the creation of economical fields, and you understand them of what is an economical field itself, what gets developed there, how that shapes and reshapes any culture of like how people make conventions, agreements, contracts to function between themselves and develop each other. But that is not something that is being well managed in the education field. That's why education is cracked down, because nobody's addressing to really prepare you to be a functional human being. Doesn't mean you will be the president of a country. You don't need to be the president, not even of the municipality where you are, to be a pro into these themas. It will be better than anything that is broadcasting on TV, etc. So already taking in this video, like that I already making the video, I share with you like my routine, for example. So every day, because people dream about, okay, how do you live? How looks your day? So every day I wake up, I take my shake in the morning, I review social media, I see content, I create content like this. Then I prepare myself to cook, I clean. There is a baby here in this house, I take care of the baby too. The other person you saw also is taking care of the baby. And after preparing everything for the cooking, I go calisthenics, yoga and boxing. Most of times here there is not really a trekking path or backcountry path, but there is some paths that are part of backcountry pathways that this state has, state of Byron. And I go and hang around in these pathways. Every day there is like a party in this house, at least in this level of the house. In other levels, no. There is always music. I always play music, my guitar, tabla, the flute. When there is summer, these days was like a lot of rain, but supposedly summer. Or it's starting, I go to swim to the lake, and then in the afternoons I go and drink some cup of wine, or more than one, depending how gets the mood with the people also. Sometimes you meet people that you can just interact very easily, and one, another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and sure, woo, and that's all. No? Some people is just testing you. Sometimes they don't understand how you can just be chill and relaxed, talking of everything they want, very much, in an accurate way, in a professional way, without mistakes, functional, making even reviews of what the other people is saying in the moment they are talking it, feeling themselves recognized, feeling themselves that nothing is getting lost.